Great segue, because we had two quarterbacks talk. We had Deshaun Watson speak, and in the same day, we had Shedeur Sanders speak. To me, I was like, oh, we're going to get some quotes. We're going to get some definite quotes. And we didn't get no crazy quotes from Deshaun Watson, but did we get a nice quote from Shedeur Sanders?
Yeah, if you want to hear our entire 20-minute breakdown on Deshaun's first press conference since 2024, you can go back. It's on our YouTube page. We did that in the first hour of the show. But we're going to focus this next topic on the little bit of a different approach to the mental side of the quarterback battle between Deshaun and Shedeur Sanders. Both the guys were asked about it yesterday. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way to approach it, but it's interesting to see how the veteran versus the younger player is taking it. This is what Shedeur said when asked about the quarterback competition. Shedeur said, quote, "I think the way y'all look at things is different than how we look at things. We look at coming to practice every day, being the best player we can as an individual and as a good teammate. Y'all look at it as a competition. It's not really nothing I'm focused on. I'm focused on developing as a player, like doing everything, getting as comfortable as I can in the offense and the scheme and playing with that confidence I had. So I think that's all I'm really looking for and trying to improve every day, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like, I'm just trying to be a better person every day, and wherever that falls into place, it'll fall into place." Deshaun was asked the same question. How are you handling the quarterback battle? This is what Deshaun Watson had to say. Quote, "I just show up every day, so I can't control coaches. He's the head coach. He's the one calling the plays, and he's got to decide who he wants out there on the field. So at the end of the day, I just got to show up each and every day and be ready and wait until my number is called." In Minnesota, there's a quarterback battle going on between Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy. And in that particular quarterback battle, Steve, you can drop this. J.J. McCarthy was asked about it, and he basically said, "I hate Kyler Murray. I am out here. He's trying to take my job. I don't hate him as a person, but right now in this competition, it is a war zone. I hate the fact that he is here to take my job." Kyler gave a more professional veteran answer is how I would describe it. But Earl,
yes.
Jason, and Earl, I want to start with you. There is not a right or wrong way to approach this. I want to make that very clear. It's up to each individual and how they want to approach it. But how would you look at how Shedeur and Deshaun both kind of answered the question about the competition and their mindset from the mental side of things as they approach a ongoing quarterback battle as we enter the final day of mandatory minicamp, and we assume this is going to continue into training camp next month?
So yesterday I posted two different clips on my Twitter page. One of Shedeur Sanders from my favorite thing that he said, one of Deshaun Watson. That quote from Shedeur was actually what I posted. And to me, I thought it was a great answer because everything is about perspective and point of view. And I think like just in our jobs, right? The audience that's watching us right now, they got their own opinion, perspective, and point of view of what this looks like, right? But when you're actually in it and you're in the know, your point of view is different. And so when I hear Shedeur Sanders talk about like, look, y'all look at it as a competition and that's cool. That's y'all job. Y'all the media, y'all fans. I guess that's how you're supposed to. I'm not looking at it like I'm competing with anybody. It's an old saying that they used to say, keep your eyes on your own paper. He's basically telling you I can't be focused on what Deshaun Watson is doing. I need to make sure that I'm handling my own business and being the best version of myself so I can put myself in the best position to come out as the Browns starting quarterback. And when you look at what Deshaun Watson said, to me, he kind of said something similar. I'm not worried about Shedeur Sanders. I'm worried about controlling what Deshaun Watson can control. It's not on me to make that decision on who's the starting quarterback. That's on Todd Monken. If I'm coming in here, and this is for either quarterback, and I'm focused on what the other guy's doing or what they're not doing, then I'm not focused on the main thing. And the main thing is, am I putting my best foot forward? Am I doing everything that the coach is asking me? Am I checking off all the boxes that they need me to check off so I can put myself in the best position to come out victorious? They both said, you know, we're on the same team and our job is to push each other. And so I have no problem with how either one of them answered that question. I have no problem with how the quarterbacks in Minnesota decided to go about it. But I do respect the approach of, let me just keep my eyes on my own paper and worry about myself. I don't come on panel and worry about what G. Bush or Jason Lloyd might say. I focus on, okay, how do I want to articulate my own point?
I like that. McNuggets. See, that was a very eloquent answer, but I'm going to just be a little more sensationalist. Hey, listen, man, don't give them nothing. We not giving you nothing. No. We done already sat down. We done talked. Hey, listen, we got our marching orders. Hey, listen, man, Deshaun, you ain't spoke in almost 3 years. It feel like years. Here's what's going to happen. You going to speak today. But we need you to keep everything. We need to keep everything on under wraps. The worst thing that could happen is Deshaun Watson get up there and Shedeur Sanders get up there. And the first question they ask is about each other. And then the answers get progressively more passive-aggressive about who going to start and what you need to do. No. See, the difference between here and Minnesota is these are one of the two biggest names in the offseason storyline. It's Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. You can't go up there operating like this Minnesota. No disrespect to the Minnesota staff and the Minnesota. Listen, we looking for quarterbacks. We still looking for quarterbacks. We always going to look for quarterbacks. The quarterback's going to lead with every headline. And the goal of yesterday was to get out of there with no headlines, no nothing. We want to get to training camp. We got one more day, right? We got we got OTAs. We done got a lot of this mini camp stuff out the way. Guess what? Y'all teammates? Yeah, we know y'all want to go compete. Yeah, we understand what that is. But I thought that was a masterful job by Shedeur Sanders saying, listen, man, my job is to come out here and throw the football, do what I can do, and we're going to help each other and do exactly how that's going to be. And by the way, he's actually right. Because he's not going, Shedeur Sanders' big problem ain't Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. It's what can you do against Carson Schwarzenegger and Denzel Ward? Can you throw the ball? Hey, when they intercepting the ball, then I go come back and say, man, Deshaun Watson picked me off. No, Deshaun had nothing to do with that read. So yes, keep your eyes on the prize. We're going to get to the offseason, Jason Lloyd, because I'm going to tell you what. The media here, we tough. Now, you may say it's not tough as New York or Boston. But they're going to ask some questions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like what they did. They went, I said what I said, and then we're going to keep it pushing.
What has J.J. McCarthy ever done to act like
See?
The whole time, Jason's like, hold up,
See,
J.J. McCarthy.
I told you. Now, you see how
like you lost me.
You see how J.J. McCarthy looking crazy right now?
Just like, J.J., the Vikings were good when you were out.
See?
You came in and they sucked.
This is why I told you they should have got JJ together.
But tell me I'm wrong.
You ain't wrong.
Not wrong. What has he done to act like the job is his?
Like
he's been awful.
Can you imagine if either Deshaun or Shedeur said something like that?
Man.
That's getting.
It'd be the biggest.
My head would have left my body.
Yeah, thank you.
Had either one of them.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no, I said that. Like I thought Deshaun's answers were great yesterday. I thought Shedeur was great. Like he was fine. Like it's how he wants to approach.
Kyler was even great, but
I mean JJ, whatever. He's off on the typical Michigan guy, right?
facts.
He's owed something.
Nasty work, bro.
But no, I mean ultimately it is a competition, and both
Yes.
these guys want to win the job, obviously. So don't let that get away. Like they're competing for this job. They want to win this job. But I thought they were fine in how both of them approached it. I thought, gee, you're exactly right. Get out of this without making headlines so that we don't have to sit here and start parsing words and, well, what do you really mean by that and everything. I thought they just handled it perfectly, and I'm glad J.J. McCarthy's not here.
Boy, see, I tell you, look, we always say we want you to be completely honest. Nah, bro. Truth serum. Like people, like
I can see it now. J.J. McCarthy on Browns quarterback competition.
Man.
I hate Shedeur and Deshaun.
It wasn't the exact way. He didn't say word for word, I hate Kyler Murray, but he basically said, I cannot believe they brought in somebody that was trying to take my job. And until there's a decision, he's quarterback one or I'm quarterback one, we ain't going to see eye to eye.
That dude's delusional.
Do you? I don't know what happened, but I like the messaging. Like it.
Do he think he better than Kyler? Listen, I ain't.
Kyler Murray is better than J.J. McCarthy.
I'm asking JJ. Like, do you?
Close.
Man,
But you know what? You have to have that irrational confidence. We've talked about that before. Like, I remember when I covered Deion Waiters, and Deion would go like 0 for 8 from 3. I'm like, yo, you ever think about maybe not shooting the next one?
Nah.
He's like, no, next one's going in. Like, you have to have this, to make it to the level these guys have made it to, you have to have that irrational confidence that I'm the only one that can do this job. But I can assure you, JJ, you are not.
I feel like...
Real quick, this was the exact quote. It's a true competition. That's what Coach said. At the end of the day, what matters is what I do, what he does. I'm just focused on me. I don't care what he's doing right now. All I can focus on me. It's like two guys in a classroom. He sits on one side. I sit on the other. We don't talk. It's the coach's responsibility to teach us and coach us. It is what it is.
That is totally different from what was in the rundown.
That's not as inflammatory as you made it sound to be.
The only part you could parse is he sits on one side of the classroom, I sit on the other.
But that kind of goes back to what I just said. That's that whole keep your eyes on your own paper approach.
And that's what Flacco was saying last year. It's like, it ain't I'm competing to get this job. It ain't my job to...
I personally, I didn't appreciate how some media members was trying to box him in, or back him in a corner and make it seem like he was a selfish, like player, like he wasn't about giving people information. He said everything that he was supposed to say. I'm 40-something years old. I'm not coming out of retirement to be nobody's damn backup. I'm trying to start.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought you was talking about when they asked about was he gonna go to Deshaun Watson throwing camp. I thought that's what we was talking. We didn't talk about that.
He had a throwing camp?
No, yeah. He said, "Hey man, you gonna go down there? They throwing with receivers in the off season. You about to go down there and you." I don't remember. Yeah, but that's what we was talking about. I look at it like this. I look at it like this, man. I think the best thing for the Browns is, and I like what they do. I like the perspective of saying, let's be a little savvy here. Give yourself an opportunity. When these questions come out, I always say, man, you can say one word and it could be done. Or you can say some other words and nobody touches it again. I think now, I don't ask questions, and Jason, you ask more questions in terms of being a journalist. How does this reflect when, do you guys see an opening in something somebody may say, and do you say, I got to examine that. Let me see if I can examine that a little more. If you see a crack, like put it to you like this: if there was some friction where it's like, hey man, listen, I'm going to run my camp, or I'm going to be throwing the receivers. Deshaun going to throw to his receivers, whatever the case may be. If you're a journalist, is there a point where you go and say, let me examine that a little further?
Yeah, if there's an opening, sure. If there's sometimes, and I'm not saying this.
No. This journalism 101. We just talk about journalism in general.
All right. I'll give you a perfect example.
Okay.
The play LeBron scratches, right, against the Bulls when Blatt had LeBron as the inbounder and JR was going to take the last shot. I asked LeBron post-game about the play, and we had kind of gotten like a little whisper and inkling that he had done something to it. Mm-hmm. So I can't remember exactly what I asked him, but he looked at me and he goes, if I'm being honest, I scratched it. And then he like nodded like,
I did that.
Keep going. I'm not going to give you more, but if you ask, I'll keep going. So I scratched it. And you could see it like look at me and like nod. Yeah. And then that's when I said, were you supposed to be the inbounder? He's like, yep.
I love that. Like, yo, so it be, because I think a lot of times people they get it twisted. Like, you would be an opinion person, but you in journalism, like your job is when you're there, the journalists really don't care about a lot of stuff. They just trying to like, I want to get the truth.
Story.
I want to get a story. What you gonna give it to me? And sometimes in the off season, some people will give you something that they didn't really mean to. And sometimes when you don't give them nothing, it's like, okay, well, I guess we'll talk about the offense or something.
Maybe it's too early to tell. Maybe this is not even the right question. But do you see a difference in how these players are handling themselves with the media under Todd Monken early on this year versus how things were done when Kevin Stefanski was the head coach?
No, I don't think there's much of a difference. Guys, you can't really tell these guys what to do. Like, they make so much money. You can't really control. They're going to say whatever they want to say. In fact, I'll pull the curtain back again. I was talking to Miles a couple years ago, and I said, you should not talk on Fridays. Like, that's a bad day for you to talk because nobody cares. By Friday, people are checked out. Mm-hmm. And he wouldn't talk till 2 or 3 o'clock on Friday some days, some weeks. And by then, like, you know, people are setting their fantasy lineups, and they don't said like, you need if you want your voice to resonate, you need to talk earlier in the week. And he said, well, what if I say something to like get me in trouble? Maybe I shouldn't talk earlier in the week. I'm like, you're Myles Garrett. What are you going to say? They going to bench you? So these guys can do and say what they want. Like they can follow the coaching. Obviously, the Browns, every NFL team of the Browns have PR coaching of this is what you're going to be asked. You know, a PR person walks them to the podium and tells them, be prepared for this, and this. This is what they asked so-and-so. This, they have an answer ready for this. This is how I think you should answer it. Ultimately, they're going to get up there and say whatever they want.
I like you went down that. Remember before when Deshaun had to speak, and he had to speak after the suspension happened, but kind of had to speak towards allegations and different things like that.
The introductory when he was in the suit at the
Or when he was with a Diddy.
No, when the Browns came out, it was him, Jimmy Haslam, and they were when they were talking, and then Deshaun had to speak, and they were like, "We're going to talk about this, and then we're not going to talk anymore." And a lot of people in media said it didn't seem like they were really prepared for the questions that they were going to ask. Do you believe, like in his questions, in the way Deshaun came off this time? Do you think he was more prepared? Do you think that was just him growing, or do you think he was better prepared for the questions that was going to be asked?
Oh, they prep everybody. Now it's up to the speaker how much they're going to absorb and how much they're going to retain and how much they're going to actually use. But they are prepped thoroughly before they get in front of cameras, especially in situations like that. But you know, it's just up to them how they want to say it. In terms of yesterday, I mean, obviously he's had a lot of time to think about what he wanted to say. He's had 2 years to think about how he wanted this to come across. And I'm sure there were moments over the last 2 years where he was like, man, screw this. You know, they booed me or cheered me when I was leaving the field on a cart. But he kept that in yesterday, or maybe some of that's dissipated over time. I don't know. But I thought the way he handled himself yesterday was terrific.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, and we talked about that in the first hour. He just came across like a man that has overcome a lot, that's in a really, really good, space in his life, and I thought he was very candid and not really over-emotional when answering questions, try to get straight to the point. He did a good job of answering everything that was asked of him, and he kept it moving. But, as we were having this conversation, just from a fan standpoint, I think back over the Bill Belichick years in New England, and it just seemed like it was a tight ship being ran. Like when they was told they couldn't go out here and say something, they didn't do it.
Yeah.
And so like I don't
Bill
know.
won Super Bowls.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like I don't know how Todd is going to go about implementing those things. I don't know how any coach in any organization, goes about those things. But I do know, like if you play for the Patriots, Bill Belichick he ran a strict program. And he ain't care who you were. And if you didn't abide by the program, he found somebody who was.
Yeah, I think Todd is going to be more restrained than people thought at first when he first got the job. It was like, oh man, this is great. He's going to answer everything. He's going to tell you what he really thinks. I've already seen some things where he's sort of pulled back or held back a little bit.
The Grant Delpit, I don't talk about injuries.
No comment.
I don't think it'll be to the extreme of what Kevin was. I think Kevin took it way too far with not ever saying anything. I think Todd will be more open, but I don't think it's going to be. He's not who. Oh man, I just lost his name. Who's the Texas Tech coach? The crazy guy.
Mike Leach.
Yeah, Mike Leach. I don't think we're going to get to Mike Leach levels.
God rest his soul.
But players, for the most part, like you're not going to control what they say.
Man, listen,
unless you're Bill Belichick and win Super Bowls.
Jason Lloyd, I'm disappointed not in what you said this last segment. I'm disappointed that you ain't been on the phone with your boy LeBron. I don't like what's going on. I'm hearing all this stuff about Golden State. You were supposed to put that call in weeks ago. Will you be salty, Cleveland, if he picked the mouthpiece and Steph Curry over a Cavs return? Come on now. We got to talk about it on UCSS.